Hello, welcome to my live Christmas drawing for November 16th, 2022. Hold on, let me bring the camera up here. Before I get into my drawing, we're in full-blown Christmas season. The commercials are on, driving to work, on my way to work in the morning, people's houses are lit up, decorated. Go to the store, all the Christmas candies out. Check out these new candies I got. They're Christmas Vacation little chocolate coins. These are only two of them. There was, I forget how many designs in the package. They're the Palmer candy, those little coins that you usually get for Easter with the Easter bunny on them, the crispy ones. Don't like them, they suck. The chocolate's not any good. But another one of my favorite Christmas candies, well, actually they're an all year candy, a Hershey Kiss, but I prefer them at Christmas time, obviously for the commercial. But the last year and this year, they've been doing these Grinch ones. This one looks like a Santa hat. I'm going to flip it upside down. I got to do it in front of me, though, because I have green screen on, so it'll disappear. But it's got the Grinch face on the bottom. See, the green kind of disappears, so I have to do it in front of my arm. Then the other one, that's one of my favorite ones here. Same thing, just a Hershey Kiss. It's got different ornaments around the side, but the bottom, it's got Max on it. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, those were some of the things. We're in the full-blown Christmas mode. And before I get started, there's a house on my road. The people have a white Christmas tree in their front window. I don't know how I feel about that. As your main window Christmas tree, a white one. And it's not flocked. It's full-blown white. I don't know. Not a fan. It's okay if you have it as a secondary tree or something like that. But all right, so today we're going to do a kind of a split drawing. So I'm going to... in my pencil layer, just split that down the middle, do a half of the drawing up here. They could overlap a little bit. This guy's going to have to overlap a little bit because he's kind of big. And we're just going to sketch it in as usual. I'm wondering if at some point you'd be able to tell who it is just by the sketch. Maybe. I was going to... do something a little more of a, I'll say a religious type tone of a drawing, but I'm going to save that for in the next couple of days. I'll do something like that. I have the rest of November every day doing my daily art of anything I choose. Then come December 1st, my daily art is going to be all based off of my Disney Pop Vinyl Advent Calendar. So whatever figure I get for that day will be the day that, or the picture that I'm drawing for that day. So it's going to be all up to the Advent Calendar gods here as to what the drawings are going to be for the first, at least the first 25 days of December. Then I have to finish out the year, obviously 26th through the 31st, with back to my regular drawings. So I have a few more days in November to come up with something. I'm just wondering how I should do this guy, because in the special that he's from, movie if you will, he's obviously a puppet or a little figure. So I think I'm going to draw him with his mouth with a shadow behind it, so it is kind of just like the actual figure. And this guy's angry. He's got some nice furrowed eyes there. And he has big pointy ears. Very elf-like. Now, I meant to do this at the beginning. I'm always learning things about the art program that I'm drawing with here. So if I touch the screen with a couple of fingers, it'll wipe everything else away. So I get more surface view here for you to see if you want. So I'll draw it like that for a little bit. Then if I need to switch something, I just push that little button up in the top there, and it'll bring back all my buttons. It's another day where kids yelling upstairs extremely loud. He's playing Gorilla Tag on VR. So, all right, I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit just because I need a little more room for his hair. And I have a hair brush on here that mimics hair. I might use that and do some fire type stuff for the background. So if you're not able to tell by this is Heat Miser, obviously. So if this one's Heat Miser, I'm sure you could guess who the other one's going to be. All right, now we'll concentrate on the second drawing here. I always got a vibe off of Cold Miser, whatever, about, he reminds me of, who was the person that played the chimney sweep in Mary Poppins? Burt Reynolds? No, not Burt Reynolds. Whatever his name is. Kind of reminds me of him, like his face, same shape. I'll just draw the circle eyeballs, but then he has more of a sad look to his eyes, where the skin kind of comes down over the edges. And we're gonna make him looking up at Heat Miser. He's kind of looking up at him. I could fix that a little bit if I decide to make him look up. We'll do the eyeballs a little bit later. So he is very icicle-y, covered in ice and snow and whatnot. He's got a little ear poking out there. A very defined jaw and chin, if you will. And the cheekbones are really pointy as well. I'm going to make him a little bit nervous here. And I'm going to give him a scarf. I put the other guy's collar on him, so I might as well put the scarf down here. I'll make it blowing up a little bit there. And I think I'm going to put his hat on him. So he has like a hat that's like a barbershop quartet guy's hat. Not doing too good with my words here today. Can't think clearly here. There we go. And I guess it also kind of looks like the old-timey like candidate's hat when you would be out running for president or something like that. They'd have these old weird hats. Before my time, of course. Again, a little bit of a sad, scared look to him. And his hair is just going to be an icicle block here. Then we're going to switch over, add a new layer, and we'll do a little bit of inking. And bring up our opacity for the brush. Test my line. All right, here we go. Now we're going to do our outline layer. We'll leave it a little bit imperfect. I like imperfection in the work. All right, do the eyebrows here. I have the ambient sound fireplace thing going on in the background. Let me full screen this. And I found one today that'll play some Christmas music in the background with it. So hopefully it might not be too loud or overpowering that it gets flagged. All right, we'll make his pupils pointing down a little bit more, just because we're going to have them both kind of looking at each other. And we'll give him a little bit of a angrier mouth and look to him. Do his little collar piece here. And the other part of his ear. We'll do a little bit of the hair on the bottom here. And I'm just going to kind of do the hair as a suggestion here for the outline. I might, like I said, do the brush with fire or hair just to see what it looks like. But I'll add a few textured lines here just to give the flow and the look of the hairstyle. And I'm not too sure what's in their ears, like how their ears are filled out, so I'm just gonna draw just a little shape in there. And then off to the cold side of the piece. So without having the button on the screen, I'm using 2 fingers to backtrack. So if I make a mistake, if I touch the screen with 2 fingers, it'll just erase the last thing I did. And again, with him, I don't know, I can't really remember. Obviously, it's a little puppet figure, but I don't know if he's supposed to be a solid brick of ice or how the character's, what his form actually is supposed to be. I'm usually not used to drawing like that in full screen, so I keep looking for the back button. Again, he's gonna have his scarf on just to finish off his look. And we'll go over to the eyes here. Again, a bit of a sadness to his eye. All right, now we'll do the pupils up a little bit more. Kind of looks like they're looking at each other, so that'll work. Work on the higher cheekbone there. Give him his teeth. Okay, so now what we're going to do is get rid of my... Let me bring back my full screen here. I'll get rid of my pencil, make sure I kind of got everything. I know there's going to be a lot of openness, especially to Heat Miser's hair. I have quite a bit in here, too, as far as his hair and hat goes. So let me just close all this stuff up, and then I'll layer in some color. All right. So we're going to reference this layer, add another layer, and start laying in some color. Okay, so we got to look for a really light peach tone for Heat Miser's face, and I left it. Oh, there's the opening. Okay, let me fix that quick. Right here, right where his ear is, I left that open. All right, back to the color layer. Drop in our color. He has a big red nose, just like Rudolph. So give him his red nose. And his eyes, I believe, are solid black. I don't think they're red. That'd be kind of creepy if they were red. We'll keep them black. That looks about right to me. And his collar piece, that's red as well. Now the hair. That's what I'm going to play around with here. So first, let's go and look at my brush that is longer flowing hair. I just have to find it. I don't use it too often. There we go. So we have flowing hair. So let's select that one and let's kind of keep it in the red category here and just kind of see what this looks like. Not bad. I like it, but I have an idea. All right. I don't want any on his face, so let me do that real quick. I just don't want it to come down onto his skin tone. I don't care if it goes out of the black outline of the hair, because like I said before, I'm just kind of using that black line for his hair as a reference. So we kind of have our darker base layer in here. And we'll add the lighter colors in a second. That works. All right, we'll add some oranges. Then we'll do some yellows as well, and then some bright red. Okay, go to yellow here. And then I have one idea for a final touch on his hair I want to do at the end here. If it works, we'll see. Okay, and let's go with bright red. All right, that works. I'm going to leave it. Didn't turn out too bad, but while I'm here, I want to try, let's see. I thought I had, let me see. If I thought I had a brush that would be fire, actually. Let's go to element. There we go, flames. All right, let's see what this looks like if I, wow, that's bright. I like it. I think I'm going to use it. So we're going to add, oh, look at that. He's on fire. This looks better than the other thing. So I'm just basically covering up the whole thing I just did, just because this looks better. So I guess you could just forget about the last 5 minutes of this video, because this hair is better. But I wonder if I could change the color of it. But obviously, the more I go over an area here, the brighter it's looking. But let's see, just to try it out. Oh, blue, it turned it like purple. So I guess if you play around with the colors, you get yellow makes it very white. This is a pretty neat brush. I never really used this one. So I don't know how you get a red tone. But hey, that looks pretty good. I'm going to leave it. I like it. Now we'll unselect that because I had that on the selection just so I didn't draw on his face. Now we're going to go down and do some coldness here. So his skin tone, I believe, is very pale white, almost ice, but not really ice. So let's go to our blues and then come over to the white a little bit here. Then we'll zoom in. Now we're going to give his face that color. The hair, we're going to go pure white. And the hat is white as well. So there's not too much action going on there. But then the little bannery scarf, or the banner thing on his hat, is going to be a darker blue with lighter blue dots on it. So we'll go back to here and just add some dots. We'll make them a little bit larger. Perfect. Then the scarf, we'll use the same color blues. So this scarf is going to be blue stripes. So we'll use that color. Select the scarf, and we're going to fill in the stripes. Make them a little bit larger. Let me just do one section at a time here. Perfect. Now we'll go concentrate on him a little bit here. Well, yeah, we got to do his eyes. Then we'll go with a shadow layer and some highlights. Then we'll do a little bit of a thing with the background, and then this piece will be complete. So, add another layer. Let's do shadows first. I like to start with the shadows. So he's obviously going to have some shading in his ears. Not too much, though, because, I mean, he's basically a light source. But if we're following the rules that he's an animatronic, his mouth will be in a little bit like this. I just kind of noticed this thing around his neck here is very Kermit the Frog. I did a Kermit the Frog drawing this past week, so just kind of reminded me of Kermit the Frog. And not going to be too much up here. Around his eyes is a different color, but I'm going to hit it with a shadow first. That's all I'm going to do for shading on him. But around his eyes, he has like a pinkish color. But I'll do that on top of or underneath the shadow layer. So let me do the shadows on this guy first. He probably should be glowing, actually, if he's looking up at Heat Miser, but that's if I was doing something that I wasn't just trying to get done in a half hour. I might do something like that with it. All right, then the scarf, a little shadows on the scarf. Then we'll add highlights. So let's do that real quick. Not going to see too much on this guy just because he's basically all light anyway. And this guy's skin tone that we went with is pretty close to white, so you won't see too much on him either. I'll do a little bit in his eyes. Oops. Shrink that down a little bit. That'll work. All right, so the eye color of Heat Miser, I'm going to go underneath the shadow layer, so anything I draw, it'll be shaded on top. And he has a pinkish hue around his eyes, and it's pretty light. So we're going to add that. That looks good. And then over here we'll do a little bit of a blue. I don't know if he has anything, but we'll do it blue. All right, back to our reference layer. Let me add just a couple little things here and there. Then we'll do the background. I just noticed I left a piece of his hair down there, not colored, but that's all right. I'll have to go back and look at all my drawings I did throughout the year, see how many of them I put little scars and shiners and all that kind of stuff on. Little random hairs popping out of things. That looks like a lady that used to go to my church when I was little. Little hairy chin. All right. Now let's do the background. So let me bring back my pencil layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new layer, but it's going to be behind everything, so nothing's affected by it. And then this way I could also just alter this layer too. So up for the heat miser, let me go to my reds. And I want to see here. What else do I got? I got smokes. Let me see what happens if I do like a smoke in red. It looks kind of weird, but let me drop the opacity down. I don't want it to mix too much with the hair. Let's see. I might not keep it. It's just, this is a trial run here. Because I'm actually going to blur it a little bit. But I just want to see what this will look like. I mean, right now it looks like shit, but it might still look like shit. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. Maybe we'll just leave something like this. All right, so let's go do some wintry stuff. So let's see. If we did smoke for him, driven snow, I can't really do that. But I believe I have... thought I would have something icy. Zombie skin. We got some stubble. Let's see what we got up here. Yeah, let's just trial run with one of these just to see what this would look like. Well, that's quite large. Let's shrink it down a little bit. That could work. I gotta be careful not to cover too much of the stuff on him since I didn't fill it in. All right, now let me see if I could smudge the center a little bit. Nah, we'll leave it. All right, let's blur it up, see what happens. So we're gonna go to blur, blur it up. All right, we'll leave it like that. I just want to test this out. So what I'm going to do, get rid of the pencil layer, grab another layer, and add it on top of the background, but behind all the characters. We're going black. Then we're going to go to our ink. Keep it on syrup. Lighten it up. Then we'll add a little shadow behind them. Strike that. Let's go white. Let's see what that looks like. Hey, it's all trial and error here, you know? So doing it this way, it would kind of give it the look of a sticker. And then plus it kind of shows the edges of the hair. All right, I think we're going to leave that one. Then we'll connect his. Hey, not my best background, but it'll work. You gotta try new things. All right, now, just because I'm weird, I'm gonna try one more thing here. I really hear the screaming going on upstairs. Kind of hope the microphone picked that up. That should be... oh, I see what I did. I need to go behind the white one. All right, that works for me. I like it. Turned out not too bad. So switch it over to my signature, sign it, and this is done for today. So today is November 16th already. Don't like the way that 6 turned out. 2022. And I'm going to bring it up full screen here so you can see it. And that's my live drawing for today. So make sure you're following me on Instagram. That is at Ague Designs, AGUEDESIGNS. The links are on YouTube or on Twitch if you're watching this there. I post daily Christmas artwork over there. You could check out all the stuff I do. If you have any suggestions for some drawings over the next couple of days, you could email them to me, aguedesigns@gmail.com, and I will be back here next Wednesday to do it all over again. And until then, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next time.